Hello and welcome. I am Garen Reaver, and this is sort of a little extra thing for Garen Reaver vs Slime Rancher. Recently, I finally got round to doing the 5-day rush again, and this time I succeeded getting the gold. And I'll just point out this is the second time I've ever done the 5-day rush, with the first time being the videos I did previously on this channel on it. I wanted to try it again without being viewed, because sort of trying to be entertaining, trying to talk, trying to make it visually interesting, not just doing the repetitive things. That, I think, held me back when I did the videos on it. So this time I really try-harded it, and it worked apparently very well. I did begin it recording about 7-10 minutes, something like that, before the end of the 5-day rush, after I'd completed my goal, but before it had actually ended, so I thought I'd show off some of my setup. When I was sitting down to do the 5-day rush, I decided to pre-plan which Largos I'd get, because obviously Largos are the smartest play. With one bit of food you get up to 4 plorts. So depending on the combination you have, you could have some really valuable plorts per food. And that's why I chose honey hunters. I don't like hunters. I do like honeys, but I don't like hunters appearance-wise, or really personality-wise. But they are the most valuable ones you can get most easily, because the honeys are 3rd tier plorts, whereas the hunters are 4th tier. And apart from quantums and the stuff from the desert, hunters and crystals are the most valuable plorts you can get. I went for hunters because for them you only need to pop the one Gordo, the same one you need to get into the moss blanket, whereas to get the crystal ones, I suppose you don't have to pop a second one, but to get crystal in any kind of quantity you do have to pop the second one to get to the volcanic island. I actually completely forgot about the volcano area, the little area, and maybe that would have changed things, but yeah. In 5-day rush, the plort sale price is consistent. You don't have to worry about fluctuations, so you can flood the market with valuable ones and it still works. So honeys sell for 45 and hunters and crystals sell for 60. I could have gone for booms, I guess, and if the hunters hadn't been more valuable, I would have gone for honey booms. Similarly, rad or boom crystals would have also worked. Scratch that. Boom crystals wouldn't have worked. It would have to be rad crystals because odd onions are too difficult to farm in great quantity. Because that's the other part of it. Once you have a high value Largo, you need to match that with an easy to produce favourite food. In this case I used mint mangoes. I started off by going immediately to the moss blanket. Well, I had to pop the pink Gordo, but that was, easy enough to do. And then I went straight to the moss blanket and collected as many hunters and honeys as I could, and started to fill up corrals. The mistake I made was I didn't have enough food production early on, but to be honest, almost all of the money I made was in the last 2 days. I was getting like 30 grand a day by the end. I bought the overgrowth, but that's the only place I did buy, and in hindsight, the overgrowth is the worst one to buy because that only has 4 plots, whereas the other 2 places, the grotto and the lab, both start with 5 each. So for all of my pre-planning, I did forget a load of things and do things in efficient ways. So it is incredibly easy to get the gold on your first try if you think it through properly. It's perfectly fine to spend the first 3 days working on building an infrastructure, filling up plots with hunter, honey, Largos, and growing lots and lots of mint mangoes. Then you just feed 10 into each corral of 5 Largos, and then you get 40 plorts out of that, 20 of each kind. Just by rinsing and repeating this strategy, yeah, you can easily clear 30 grand in a day. And the other thing you need to remember is that the 5-day rush doesn't actually end at the beginning of day 5, or the end of day 5, because of course you start on day 1, so if you have 5 days, that takes you into day 6, and it ends at midday on day 6. See, I was about 7 AM on day 4, and I had 13 grand. And then just by trying really damn hard on those hunter honeys, I managed to get all the way up to 64,784 by the end. Other general tips, I did try having a puddle pond, because puddles are in the same bracket as honeys, but the production is way too slow. They're not worth it. Similarly, I spent ages collecting pinks on sort of in my time off, but that was again a waste of time, because you can get in the range exchange, you get various things and they all give you 3 gold plorts if you complete it. Well, the 9 gold plorts I got in total were worth more, almost 1,000 more than the 177 pinks I collected over the 5 days. The upgrades I bought for the corrals were high walls, air net and plort collector, and the upgrades for the crops were sprinklers and nutrient soil. They're essential. Also, other thing that's interesting to note, knockouts in the 5-day rush aren't anywhere near as crippling as you'd expect them to be. They just knock you out for an hour, and I think they knock you down by about 1,000 in cash, although I'm not 100% certain on that. Overall, the 5-day rush is a lot easier than I thought, and I went in with a rather defeatist attitude because I don't normally like speedrunning stuff, but yeah, it turned out to be very fun, very different, and very successful. So I hope this little video's helped you if you were stuck on the 5-day rush or were sort of worried about giving it a go. It is entirely easy to do a gold run on your first try. Second try for me, but you know, that's why I'm here to help. So thank you very much for watching, and remember to come back in a few days for the full release of Slime Rancher, and I will catch you later.